Terrifying moments in downtown Cleveland this afternoon. A man with a big butcher knife running down the street, even chasing down a family. Our Michelle Nix was right there when it happened. She has the breaking details.
Danger downtown. As I walked out of the dollar store here on East 12th, police suddenly converged across the street, taking a man into custody who witnesses say was running down the street wielding a large butcher knife. Witnesses say this man, allegedly with a big knife in plain view, chased a family into Masthead Brewing Company on Superior. Several men dining inside the restaurant at the time witnessed the commotion.
The gentleman chased somebody into the restaurant, and then one of the employees recognized that somebody was being chased in, and he picked up a bar stool and threw it at the person doing the chasing. It struck that person, and then they ran out.
The suspect pictured here on the sidewalk, surrounded by Cleveland police, was immediately taken into custody on Walnut Street. Other witnesses who did not want to talk on camera tell me the man allegedly ran from Superior to East 12th with the big knife in his hand and in plain sight, and then attempted to get on the RTA bus at East 12th and Walnut. He also jumped on the hood of a parked car.
I think folks know that, there's a little bit of a hazard in coming, to this area, but that, luckily there's police and there's people with their heads screwed on straight, paying attention.
As the man was put in an ambulance to be checked out at a local hospital, police and people in the area just thankful no one was hurt.
I think we're optimistic of the mayor's hiring more police officers, and I think that's an important thing, and they're trying to focus more on mental health teams as well, but hiring more cops I think will be helpful as well. But yeah, I think we're optimistic, and we're still going to come downtown for sure.
Sources confirm police did locate the large knife. Now it's unclear exactly what charges the man will face. Everyone just thankful no one was hurt, but police and witnesses on the scene did express concern that the man was facing some sort of mental health crisis. Reporting in downtown Cleveland, Michelle Nix, 19 News.